H-Town, what's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day, the Chop Shop. H-Town, what's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas, and abroad. But we're broadcasting all over the entire world via Facebook Live and YouTube Live. You had a little hiccup earlier, but we're going to be back up in a second. Jimmy, I think we're already there, but we got so much stuff. Let me give people a chance to get signed back on. Jimmy, let's give them a second to get signed back on. You know, it's Women Rock Wednesday today. Women, y'all, hey, let me tell you something. Women really rock every day on the Chop Shop. We just hold out a day for y'all a lot. So we got some special stuff for the women today. But Jimmy, I got a unique topic that I want to, a couple of things I want to, first of all, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, she's the first woman to lie in state, Jimmy, and it's 2020, but she's the first woman to ever lie in state at the Capitol building and at the, at not necessarily at the Capitol building, at the Supreme Court building. First time ever. I want to give a shout out to, not a shout out, to rest in power to Gale Sayers, one of the most dynamic and electrifying players in NFL history. An all-pro in each of his first 5 seasons, a 2-time rushing champion, an incredible a return man as well. A football legend and a great human being, Jimmy. He was one of my, older brothers, and they used to always tell me about, because I didn't get a chance to see Gale Sayers because he got injured so quickly. And but I saw the movie, Brian Song. With Billy D. Williams and James Caan in the movie. If you haven't seen that movie, it's a movie that really, even at this time in your life, will bring tears to your eyes. But Jimmy, but it's Women Rock Wednesday today, and let me acknowledge the women. Jimmy, you got a set of women, and I probably got a set. Let's get your set if you wrote them down already. I know Mindy Collins was number one. So who else you got? Mindy Collins,
and that was from the first, I guess, launch on today's show. We have Mindy Collins, Tiffany Sanders, Tyandra Holmes, Igbo Child. I hate to see what your mama name is.
No, Jimmy, that's Angie Holcomb. She just changed her name. Okay.
Good.
She been having some trolls. She had to change her. She must have been doing something bad on that. Jimmy, we got to investigate that. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna play some blues songs about her in a minute.
Yeah.
Jessica Brooks. It rounds out today's starting 5 on the first segment. Okay. Who you got for the second?
Let me see. Did anybody come up different on the second feed? Nah. Nobody different. Let me make sure I got new comments. Yeah, Ricky Scott, let us do the show, man. Tell me what about Tyrod Taylor? We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about everything you want to talk about. Let us get cranked up first. So, Jimmy, where you want to go? I know you want to start.
Well, let's give a splash of women rules. You just mentioned one female, and the Supreme Court, the late Supreme Court Justice Ginsburg, over in the bubble, the other bubble, believe it or not, that's taking place. WNBA playoffs are underway and in session. And so last night, actually one game needed a buzzer beater to solve. And that was Alicia Clark. She had to put back at the buzzer to lift Seattle, the Storm, past the Minnesota Lynx. And that was in game 1 of the best of 5 series. The final score was 88-86. In the other semifinal, Asia Wilson. Asia, I remember her playing in one of John Lucas's camps back in yesteryear as she was coming up through the high school ranks from, I think, from out of one of the Carolinas. She had 29 points, and she got MVP this year of the WNBA. She represents the Las Vegas Aces. She had 29.7 rebounds, 7 blocks, right? She led the Aces past the Connecticut Sun 83-75, and that series is evened up at 1-1. So the WNBA is only 4 teams left in the bubble. They are playing at what is on the campus of IMG Academy, located also in Florida. That's a high school campus. Just imagine how big it is, and for them to house all of those WNBA teams recently in their rendition of the bubble. So that's my Women Rock Wednesday dose of WNBA news. What else we got?
Jimmy, I got something for the women during the breaks. So we'll have something for the breaks.
So I think first, let's get off on the topic, and I think because we try to get better at it every day, and topics that we leave on the table that was definitely part of our should have been in the starting lineup on yesterday, and that is we get right into the Deion Sanders situation and being named head coach at Jackson State early at the top of the week. And Deion has, as expected, he's been on the media blitz doing interviews and with, understand, he has relationships in the business, being in the media for a number of years. So those relationships, you open those doors at any time and tap right into those guys, and they'll provide you minutes or opportunity to be on their platform. And that's what we did that's what Deion Sanders did on yesterday. Now, during the show yesterday, briefly, we were citing a release from Bleacher Report that had stated that Deion had hired a number of about almost a half dozen guys on his staff that had former NFL stars, including Warren Sapp, Terrell Owens. During the show, Terrell Owens went on social media and disputed that. Also, Deion Sanders went directly at one of the guys on one of the Fox networks or Twitter feeds, whoever the person was directly, and let him know, basically chastised him for releasing bad dope. Now, a day later, is anything new come out of that? Whether it is later to be found true? Either two things going to happen. Either this stuff is going to be true, either this rumor can be true, but it's just taking time to get things solved, or it's totally false. One of the two.
And Terrell Owens, if you looked at his whole tweet, you notice he left the door open. If my friend needs me, I'm there. So it's something there. You remember you said some key in the beginning. Deion Sanders is in the media. Barstool's media, he's employed by also. We got a podcast that just came out, Jimmy, I think released Sunday. His first podcast from Barstool Network. And he got a unique employment opportunity, and I'm gonna play that during the break, one of the breaks, for a young student that can work for Barstools and report to Barstools about Jackson State. So Jackson State, you remember I told you about Nicole Hutchinson, how ESPN had her on the college campus at Howard reporting to ESPN. It's called this person at Jackson State going to be a viceroy. The viceroy is a term that used by Barstool to report back to Barstool everything Jackson State. Jimmy, let me tell you something. This is an awesome, and I don't know where you wanted to go with this, but my sources that's on the ground down there and that happens to know Deion real well. I was going, and my thing was, because I know Bomani Jones. I got a clip from him. He talking a little negative about Deion in this move. Because a lot of people, it's a surprise move. And you're going to have some naysayers. Anything you're doing great, always remember, man, you're going to have people who going to not disagree with you. People disagree with me every day. Disagree with Jimmy every day from what we do. But all we doing is giving our viewpoint. But it was so unique, Jimmy. My man just said, hey, Rob, that man had other opportunities. I said, I know he did. I know 3 opportunities I know that wanted him to coach in the NBA, in the NFL. And he said, Rob, he knows about that community down there, the Jackson. He said he want to be able to put himself and build a platform and build a structure to keep these kids out the streets. He want to shake the community up. Okay? Then he said he want to level the playing field. And then Jimmy came back and said he want to give these kids a Power 5 experience with an HBCU feel. Jimmy, he said, imagine 60,000 people at Clemson at a regular Sunday game, but 60,000 people in Jackson, Mississippi on a Saturday with an HBCU bill with the sonic boom blasting. Jimmy, the guy was just talking to me about it. He said, just give you, it's just give you he said, look here, people around here running their mouth about talking about Black Lives Matter. He said, we do matter. He said, Jackson State matters. Jackson, Mississippi matters. And he said, Robert, that's not being said on the networks. I don't know what Dion is saying on the networks. He said, but Robert, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. I am helping with that infrastructure. Let me tell you something, y'all. It's a great, and Jimmy, look what just happened. A young man decommitted from decommitted from Mississippi State, a Power 5, and I got his name. I'm trying to put it. I'm trying to bring him up in my notes. Young man in transfer. Okay, here it is. Tuesday night, a young guy from Provine, was a Provine Ram, a former Provine Ram, Mississippi State defensive back, Javarius Selman, announced that he is transferring to JSU. In the last phase of his statement, he posted in a tweet, I want to announce that I'm coming home to play for Coach Prime. Jimmy, this thing is happening. Jimmy, if this man is the cornerback at Mississippi State, he was a dude. What you said, he was a red ant somewhere. Jimmy, you follow me? To go to Mississippi State, them some dogs. And Jimmy, I'm glad you're starting to show off with this. This is what the naysayers, you remember, Jimmy? When I was kind of ticked off about when Mikey Williams was talking about the HBCU. We had a whole lot of HBU alumni, and maybe y'all sensitive about that. And maybe y'all are, and I'm sorry if y'all sensitive about that. But y'all were coming on Twitter talking about, man, don't use us to get no likes. This guy got 20 million followers. The hell he using? He got more followers than the whole HBCU probably. But why would he have to use that? So we got not only students doing this, we got Mature Maker. Now we got a coach, a Hall of Fame player as a coach. Jimmy, this is unbelievable to me, man. Just to know what it takes to put on and guess what he told about Monty Jones? Dude, I couldn't have no motives, dude. He said, man, let me tell you something. God sent me here. He said, God sent me to Florida State. He sent me to Dallas. He sent me there. He said, God sent me here, man. He said, look here, man. I already got 150 acres and a mule. Let me repeat that, Belmonte Jones. I already have 150 acres and a mule. I'm not coming down here for Prime. Prime, all right. But it's just, you know, and I know people gonna have their distractors. I mean, detractors. Everybody. Let me tell you something. When you,
one of the things
yeah.
is that time will tell. And the thing is, we all understand. I mean, come on, it's like certain things. I mean, are we going to be so naive to allow ourselves to be propelled into thinking that this is what Deion wants to just finish his career at? No, this
Jimmy,
is what he
we ain't
started.
going there. Why you worry about? Hold up. So you one of those guys. Let me stop you. Why you want to worry about where the hell, Jimmy? Everybody going somewhere. LeBron left. Mobility. You're not with the same. You're not with the same girl you met a long time ago. Jimmy, everything don't start out the way.
No, I mean, understand. One of those things. What Deion Sanders is not saying this is where I'm going to be forever. See, there's a difference.
But why is that a question? Why is that a question?
No, because some people want to just. I mean, that's the way that some people think. So some people think, and the thing is, okay, who said that? And now, if Deion was one of those conventional guys that go to a school, you know, this is where I'm going to be here forever. I'm going to be. Oh, I mean, okay, then that's some propaganda. That's some food.
Jimmy, them coaches don't stay there forever.
I understand that. I'm not talking about what they stay. That's the end of the story. I'm talking about what they say when they arrive upon arrival. Deion is not saying that. So that's not.
Even if he did say it, it's okay with me.
No. It's the ones that do say it.
I said it's okay with me.
But that's political speak.
Because guess what?
Deion ain't doing the political speak right now. What Deion is doing right now, Deion is showing right now. You get that small window. I mentioned Avery Johnson when he went to another day on Monday, when I mentioned him when he first went to Alabama. Avery Johnson at that time, what's the young man's name? That's with the OKC Thunder, Terrence Ferguson. Terrence Ferguson was really close, and it was widely believed and speculated that he was going to follow Avery Johnson to Alabama. And and it was like nobody had reason to believe otherwise. And actually gave a soft verbal.
Avery Johnson ain't prime time, but keep on going. Avery Johnson ain't prime time.
We're not understand something. Understand something.
The difference.
Understand. He's not prime time. No, but to that guy, the relationship, the lure was the same attraction or the same force of a magnet that at prime time may have for somebody that he don't know. Avery knew Terrence Ferguson. And so therefore, what I'm saying is you get that small window. Now, prime is right now is when you go to doing the parades, and that's what he's doing. He's saying all the right thing and letting them know he's gonna come on in. He can't wait to do the house visits, but you can't do house visits until 2021. But at the same time, he's doing and saying all the right thing. This morning, you know what he did? Think about the most smartest move. You're going into a state like Mississippi. You're going into Jackson. First thing he did this morning was went and met with all of the major clergy in the city. That's the electoral power of the fabric of the community, of the urban community. When you
excuse me, Jimmy, for you critics and you people who won't understand that man there, that's how he lives. He is a member of a church and he's there every Sunday's in town. That's how he lives. He understands the power of the black church. So this not a political speech. That's because you was about to say, Jimmy is not political.
This ain't nothing with political.
No, I'm just helping you. I'm just helping you.
It has nothing to do. Understand something. It has nothing to do with the general scope of politics. It's about. This is what you do.
Jimmy, I just read off something to you.
You get the city on your side.
Jimmy.
That's like you go into any community. You got to meet with the powers that be. He met with the powers that be first and got it out the gates. That way they can see him in regarding to his spiritual beliefs are probably in line or in sync with most of theirs, if not all.
Jimmy.
That's the smart move.
If in my soliloquy, I don't know what you was doing, you was playing around. In the beginning, I said he's trying to change the community. Let me repeat that because I hope you ain't typing now. He said he's want to change the community. If you want to change the community, you got to go meet with the local clergy. If you're trying to change the problem, the drug problem, the crime problem, you have to go and meet with the clergy. That's the only thing I'm trying to get you to understand. I know you like to put your political spin. He's coming there trying to be no. If listen, if you're saying you coming in and change community, you better go to the black church. Because all the mamas of these dudes out there, that's where their mamas at. That's all I'm trying to get you to see. I'm not saying what you're saying. It might mean something to you, but this man got a purpose. He got a purpose to do that. That's all.
Al, understand. When in meeting
I'm not agreeing with you. See, you thinking I'm agreeing with you. I'm just telling you, you trying to say it's political. It's more than that.
I ain't said not one time it's political. Where did you get that from?
Jimmy.
Where did you get that from?
Jimmy, how you start?
Listen. Like you told me.
Okay, I got to meet with the powers that be. No.
Did I say that what Deion Sanders is doing is political? Not one time.
You said,
listen,
you said he had to meet with the powers that be.
Yes, that's the powers that be.
So the powers that be is not political? So the black church in every city is the power to be?
No, I said a while ago, not on the common face of what politics, of what most people think in politics are. That's the smart move. That's the first and foremost. The smart move is what he did. Put it like this.
I didn't say it wasn't smart.
Hold on. Put it like this. Of all the coaches that ever been hired, that ever took a job at any HBCU that you know of, think about this then. Name one that went and called all of the clergy, not the ones in Third Ward that got a TSU job, not the one that want to just meet with Reverend Lawson at Willow Fieldhouse or Willow Avenue Baptist Church. No. Name one that called the entire contingent of the cities of that city or town.
I can't name one. I agree with that.
American.
I agree with that. I can't.
So that's what I'm telling. So that means the smart thing to do. It ain't nothing to do with politics. That was the very smart thing. That was the genius thing to do.
Jimmy, it's him. Jimmy is who he is. That's a point I'm trying to make to you. I told you, I know somebody with him right there, right now. That's who he is. And that's the point that I'm trying to bring to you. That's who he is. He trying to change the community.
But at the same time, how to understand, we know change the community, but at the same time, you have to realize there are some people, like every job, there's going to be a runners up. In every vacant job, there's always a guy that certain people are pushing that may not get the gig. And then while that certain guy is running for that job, it may have been just say they didn't retain the head coach from last season, right? His assistant may have been the guy that a lot of people were rallying behind. Just give an example. I don't know, but it may have been one guy that a lot of people was pushing. And while you pushing for that guy, that means you have to make yourself present and actively get out there and push for this one guy. It's like now that's politicking. That is politicking. Well, once you're doing so, then it becomes evident and obvious to whoever else is running for that job. They know what side of the fence you are on because you're pushing your guy. That don't mean you're anti this guy, but that guy may have asked you first. I know how it is with college coaches all the time. A lot of college coaches ask me. Hell, I've gotten in the last 12 hours, I've received about 18 phone calls from college coaches asking me to get them in to the coaching job, the vacant coaching job at Texas State University because they want to get in or they want to get on the staff with TJ, who's going to be interim. So I know how that, but then what happens is whoever you endorse first, you have to decide to endorse somebody. And once you endorse a guy back to the Jackson State thing, Deion probably, or his people who connected those dots, him with Ashley, the AD, what's Ashley's last name?
Robinson.
Ashley Robinson. And whoever connected them together, them two together, and helped do the deal, well, they know what they were fighting against. So Deion came on in there and got that thing together. That's genius. Then you go and let them parents know, can't wait to come up in y'all living room. I can't wait to eat them greens and cornbread. So that's like those are. No, understand that's the swag. Every coach, every head coach, football coach in the conference gonna eat some greens and cornbread, probably. But it's just the thought. And then to get this move from this young man who you just mentioned earlier, who made who was at Mississippi State. Now, mind you, he's an incoming freshman, so he has 4 years of eligibility that's on tap, and a little Selma. Well, he's from Provine, which is in Jackson, Mississippi. He's coming home to play. Now, who
Javaris
knows?
Selman. His name is Javaris, Jimmy.
Javaris Selman.
Yeah.
Javaris Selman.
Mm-hmm.
He might not have played this season for Mississippi State. Who knows? I mean, I doubt it because SEC, he'd announced that he was opting out because of COVID. So he's one of the players back a couple of months back when they said, or a month or so ago, they gave the players an option to opt out and not play. He's one of those young men. He was not going to, in other words, for whatever reason maybe, but he's going to be well received. Because one thing about coaches, whoever their first recruit, what I've noticed in the business, they will embrace and give a long rope to their very first recruit. And indirectly, even though he's not the recruit for Jackson State, he's the first one to come and say, since Deion's been hired. So this guy's going to get plenty of rope coming in. I really like it. Now the thing is, the thing is how is the way that the bad news is it bad dope or not? Far as the announcement of the Warren Sapp, the Terrell Owens, and along the other guys being added to that staff.
First of all, it was a man. Somewhere that man got that information, or he didn't get that information, and he reported it. I mean, it's just and put it out there on Twitter, and people, even us, we read it off. What if those same guys? So I tell you what, if it's not correct, is he gonna get fired?
No. The media guy? No, not on that. Now, if it's a pattern, then yes. But no.
You got to understand. Look, you had to look at Terrell Owens' tweet, and I would implore everybody on the Facebook feed, go look at Terrell Owens' tweet, and look what he said. He just said he left the door open. If my brother needs me, I'm there. So yes, it's a chance, but we didn't want. See, I'm telling you, Jimmy. My thing is, somebody that leaked it out, and Barstool wanted to leak it out. You got to understand, the man is in bed with a media company. So if it's something about his program, Barstool wants to leak it out. So of course he's mad. He's the member of a media company. He's a subsidiary of a media company. And that's the advantage that Jackson State gonna have. Excuse me, I'm sorry. The SWAC is gonna have. See, what we got to do to other schools in the SWAC, can't be jealous. We just got to up our game. Excuse me. Y'all got to up y'all games. I said we. See, I feel like, I'm black. It's a black college. We got to up our games. TSU, you got to up your game. Prairie View, you got the Southern, you got to up your game. Don't be jealous. Guess what? It's another Deion Sanders out there somewhere. It's a Charles Woodson out there somewhere. It's another guy out there somewhere. Not Charles, because he don't want to coach. But it's another guy out there that's able, that we would be able to attract. That's why this is so important. Because let me tell y'all something. And Jimmy, I know you ain't mentioned this, but this what gets to me. Jimmy, what my two HBCU kids, Jimmy, at least 40 called me this year trying to get at a pro day or in the combine. Then but two HBCU guys get in the combine. Deion gonna change that. And it ain't just gonna be the Jackson State players, Southern and TSU, and the rising tide gonna sip all ships. That's what he mentioned that specifically. Jimmy, two guys. Jimmy, all the Hall of Famers that then came out of this place, the best wide receiver ever came out of HBCU. The best, the cornerback ever came out of HBCU. Some of the best linemen, Jackie Slater, who blocked for Eric Dickerson when he would. All of these guys, we got Hall of Famers that came out of HBCUs. He said, "Look, I'm gonna give you, and check this out. I'm gonna try to give you a Power 5 experience. This what was told to me today with an HBCU feel. It's powerful. 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 That's all.
Yeah, and of course, thanks. While we were talking, the breaking news has been handed down out of Louisville that ex-police officer Brett Hankinson is the one of the three police officers that has been indicted now on the in the Breonna Taylor murder, and he's charged with 3 counts of first-degree wanton endangerment. I've never heard of that charge before, but I know it's compatible to something else. But I know that first degree, I know that's 3 counts of first degree of anything, I mean that's the worst level. So 3 counts of first degree wanton, WANTON, endangerment. And that's what he's charged with. So that means the other 3 officers have been no billed in the case. So 1 out of 3, I guess, that's a start. So I was really, really nervous about this case. About this decision, because 3 days, about 72 hours ago, the mayor had declared, the governor had put in to declare a state of emergency in Louisville, looming on the decision. And that made me nervous, because that means if they were going to indict all 3 officers, then why the hell would you need help from the National Guard and help,
Yeah, because some people might have got mad about this one officer. It's just one and not
I'm
3.
just saying that means
Yeah.
that let it be known that all 3 were not going to be indicted. That's what I'm saying.
But you know what's so unique about this situation, right? Y'all got to realize the Attorney General. You know who he is, Jim? Daniel Cameron.
Yeah.
Do me a favor, y'all go research. Donald Trump gonna put out a list of potential judges to take Ruth Bader Ginsburg place, right? He on the list. He showed up at the Republican convention. He spoke at the Republican convention. Jimmy, it's a wonder this cop is, I know we veering over it, but I don't want to take you to another civic lesson, but it's a wonder that this cop got indicted. It's a wonder that he got indicted. I'm just telling you, that dude, Daniel Cameron, go look him up, go look at his pictures, hey, do me a favor, go look up his family pictures. This dude is on the list, ladies and gentlemen, to become a Supreme Court justice. And remember, we got to watch out now, because guess what, Jimmy? I don't know if you knew this or not, but you don't have to be a lawyer to become a Supreme Court justice. Don't forget about that. You don't have to be a lawyer. You don't have to be a judge. You don't have to. So it's just unique, man. Hey, Jimmy, let me tell you something. Maybe when we indict this one and get this one, maybe those other 3 we can do something with them later. So at least I didn't think, I'm serious, I didn't think one of them was going to be indicted. So I'm just glad to have that one.
Well, yeah, when they that's what I'm saying. When they said the state of emergency, that lets you know that it was not, the decision from the grand jury was not going to be what many hoped it would be, meaning a clean trifecta of indictments. Now, I was thinking, man, they about to sit here and no bill all 3 of them. I didn't think, in my mind wasn't even thinking of a midway point to say, well, maybe one. Well, so I think that the fact that he's got 3 counts against him, then it's going to be, understand how people, there are going to be some people that'll say, okay, we'll take that and run with it. And some people out there in those streets that'll be marching all day will be out there saying that's some crap. You know, this ain't enough. It's going to be that. That's going to happen. But the fact still remains that now it's time. Justice is in the process.
Yes, it's just a
being
process.
served.
Yeah.
At least to one of them. Yeah. Now that's you know.
Jimmy, maybe he'll roll on the other ones. We never know.
You say maybe he'll roll on them.
He roll on the other ones. We'll never know. We'll never know.
And so, you know, I mean, of course, all of your news, this is probably going to oversee a lot of the headlines this afternoon, probably on all of your news stations.
Jimmy, I'm sitting there laughing because Freight, and I think Freight and Rick Brown, they've looked up Daniel Cameron and they giving him all kind of words right now. Y'all got to understand, man. That dude there, man, that's he on the other side. That's all I'm gonna say. He on the other side. Hey, something should have told y'all something. I know y'all went when I said he is up. He is one of the nominee, one of the guys that he got picked to be the nominee is on his short list, Donald Trump's short list. You should have knew right there something was up. So, I just want to
thanks Daryl Barnes for, you know, I guess we have, like I said, one thing about the Chop Shop and Boom Boom.
Talking about one to
guys of various academic backgrounds and professionals in a lot of things that you do. And so there he explains it that wanton describes something excessive, uncontrolled, and sometimes even cruel. For example, the principal sees a food fight as a wanton act of vandalism done with wanton. So that's, and Angel says, you know, when you break it down, of course, that officer is not directly, technically, he's not directly charged in Breonna Taylor's death. He's facing those 3 counts of shooting into neighboring apartments. So, I mean, that's, I'm reading.
We're gonna let them do that. We're gonna let them. I'm gonna tell you another interesting. God, I lost my thought when you went there. Gosh, I had a good one. God, but keep going. Man, I wanted to go something.
So that's, you know, we got so much, of course, guys, and man, we done rolled right through the top, through 2.
Oh, we got to go break. Let's take a break right now. Maybe I remember.
Let's take a quick break, and we take a breath and come on back. We got NBA stuff on NBA talk on the horizon. Also, we got some collegiate conversations, more collegiate conversations to share with you guys on the Chop Shop. Make sure you share the show.
What are we doing this week to ruin sports for men?
Sorry, did you say ruin sports for men?
That's what we do.
Mm-hmm. Like, I had heard that that's a thing that we do. I just didn't know that we actually did it.
Let me explain. It is our only goal in life, as women in sports, is to take this thing that men have loved and destroy it piece by piece.
Can I ask, like, how do we do it?
Well, in my case, I host Sports Center every day.
In my case, sometimes when I'm on TV, I don't smile.
I talk about football, never even played the game.
And I don't cook. What will you do?
So much. I wore a turtleneck on TV last week.
They must have hated that.
They did. They hated it.
Ah!
One of us.
One of us.
Who wants to be a part of the fastest growing media companies in the country? You're gonna be a part of it. We got a job for you, man. We want you to be a part of the Vice Royal team right here on the campus of Jackson State University. I need you. Barstools, baby. We're employing people. Let's go.
Jimmy, do me a favor right now. Why don't you talk about our good friends at Cox and Prady, a law firm right now? I'm gonna have it come across the screen for you in a second. I just want you to sit and talk about them a little bit. Jimmy, we back.
Oh, we back. Oh, you talking
Yeah.
about right now?
Yeah, right now.
You go. Yeah, of course. Don't forget, guys, the Cox Pradia Law Firm. Troy Pradia, Jonathan Cox, two Houston-bred attorneys, joined forces, collaborated their efforts to form what is one of the largest Black-owned personal injury firms in all of the state of Texas. And once again, the Cox Pradia Law Firm, check out their website today, bigcityaccidents.com. If you get in the jam, guess what? You need to call on Troy Pradia and Jonathan Cox at the Cox Pradia Law Firm. Let them become your personal injury protectors today. This is good stuff right here. The info is screaming right on the bottom of the screen. You can call them right now, 713-752-2300. If you have questions about a relative or anyone else involved in an accident and you are curious, they will help you today. Mention the Chop Shop. Tell them the Chop Shop sent you. They're great supporters. One of them is probably watching right now as we speak. And of course, that's good news on that part. Now, we also got, I got two or three things to shift gears with. One would be in Major League Baseball, the Astros won last night. That's why I saw Rod Wells. Rod, I told you we're gonna talk about this today a little bit. The Astros won last night, and because that was one of the things, they are one of the teams that were waiting on to clinch the playoffs, and they're pretty much in good shape. That win last night put them right where they need to be because Seattle was 3.5 games back, but now Seattle was 2.5 games back. Now they're 3.5 games back of the Astros. Astros looking good right now. They've won 6 of the last 10. I think they play again today against Seattle. Oakland A's, the teams that have clinched already in the American League. The Oakland A's, right? The Tampa Bay Devil Rays, the New York Yankees, the Chicago White Sox, Minnesota Twins, Cleveland Indians clinched last night on a walk-off home run, a 3-run walk-off home run in the 10th inning last night. Cleveland Indians clinched.
So how many people can make the playoffs, Jimmy?
8 from each side.
Okay. All right. So the Astros ain't clinched yet, right?
Well, 2, 5, that's 6 of the 8 teams have clinched. And so the teams that are remaining, the Houston Astros, the Toronto Blue Jays, and maybe the Angels and Seattle still have a mathematical chance. I think the Astros have about 5 games left.
Rod talking about, see, I don't listen to Rod no more because he was wrong on our pick. He's talking about Astros has a 6 seed in the playoff. How can they have a 6 seed? They ain't even in yet.
Well, yeah, I mean, if they're going to be in, but mathematically, the bottom can fall out. It happened about a decade ago. The bottom fell out on the Astros, and they end up going all the way down. But yeah, in all likelihood, the Astros are going to get the 6th seed. And that's what I mentioned yesterday. The 7th seed will have a better record than the Astros 6th seed. That 7th seed is probably going to be the Cleveland Indians. And that's who the Astros are probably going to face in the first round of their wild card game. Astros and Cleveland. That's why I say it's a scary-ass matchup for anybody who plays the Astros first, because you never know which offensive unit will show up for the Astros. The pitching has been pretty decent all season. It's just that the hitting, not being able to, once again, Astros must be able to produce 6 runs or more any game. And I'm feeling really good about their chance of winning if they can get you 6 runs or more. And that offense has to wake up. And this one of the first times that everybody is healthy. And that's the thing. Everybody, I think, with the Astros, or even Springer came back the other day. Carrera had a scare the other day. He hit a ball off his leg. He's back. But that's now, guess what, Al? I'm still the Atlanta Braves. Them dudes ain't scared of nothing.
What you mean they ain't
Dodgers, the Atlanta Braves, they've clinched the 3rd straight National League East title. 3rd straight. The Atlanta Braves, they young and having fun, man. Of course, the Chicago Cubs.
What does they got to do with Mookie and them?
Mookie and them. Mookie, the pressure is on Mookie now. We're talking about the Dodgers and the Padres. Padres ain't chopped liver. Man, Padres all right.
I
Man.
like what my man ain't Tatis. That's my dude.
Fernando.
Yeah.
Fernando. I mean, dude, let me tell you something. It would be a ratings bonanza if the Yankees and the Dodgers met in the World Series. At a neutral field like this, it would be a ratings bonanza. Because this Yankees team, you remember now, they got Garrett Cole as the ace. I'm the Astros. And their team have not been together and played as a unit probably no more than 5-6 games all season. Somebody's been hurt or another. And guess what? Alan, the leading home run hitter of all major leagues is the first baseman for the Yankees, and that's Luke Voigt. He has 21 dingers. He's leading everybody, including Mookie, who's sitting there with about 18, I think, after last night.
All I'm saying is, I'm sitting here listening to you, right? That's all right. Oh, I'm gonna let y'all do it. I'm gonna let you Astros off the hook today. I'm gonna let y'all off the hook. I'm gonna leave y'all
Astros in the playoffs, dude. Think about it. We ain't got no pitching. We still made the playoffs.
Well,
we in good shape.
It's a shortened playoffs. It's an asterisk playoffs. It's a truncated playoff.
So is NBA or asterisk? Is it truncated? It ain't not for the NBA.
No, I'm just messing with you. I'm messing with you, man.
Hey, you know what? Astros, I wouldn't say they're not playing with house money because, truth be told, it is nobody in their right mind expected the Astros to not make the playoffs this year, even without the pitching, even without Verlander going out.
I know what I had to tell you, Jimmy. I call you, I text you one day, and I mentioned the Chicago Cubs. And you gave me I said, they balling. And you gave me was it a fact or what? You gave me an interesting fact talking about 8 of the 9 starters are from the the Dominican or somewhere like that.
Yeah. On which team you talking about
Chicago,
now?
the White Sox.
Yes.
The White Sox.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I didn't know that. That's
because I think you had asked why these guys at the time why they playing so well.
Yeah, actually,
they were kicking butt. They had a streak. They had a streak going on, which of course a lot of teams have streaks, back and forth through the season. And why was the White Sox playing so well? Which the White Sox, they understand that they've clinched the playoffs. They haven't clinched the division yet because it's going to go down to the wire between the White Sox and the Twins. And remember, the Twins are one of the teams that you were rooting and tooting for, and of course Yvette.
For one day, I'm rooting for them for one day.
You and Yvette. Well, she is right. She's from Minnesota, and she's watching us on the Chop Shop. But you was right there with the Minnesota. And guess what? Minnesota. Hey, Minnesota's still out at 34-22.
Let me find out who won last night. I'll root for them. That's how I am. I don't care nothing about baseball that much. So I'll root for whoever.
But the Yankees may not even win their division, which would be understandably so, based on just thinking of the name. That's one of the things out of that.
I got 2 baseball gear, shirts and stuff, and it's just the Yankees and the Dodgers. I don't know. I guess I just like winners. My bad, y'all. I'm sorry. I just like winners. But what else we got, Jimmy? Because we got to talk about this old coach down the road. This your wheelhouse. The little coach down the road. I don't know how far, because I ain't never been to Texas State. And we got to talk about. You remember I came on this show on Monday morning, and I said, "How in the hell do you get hurt in the warm-ups?" About Tyrod Taylor. Didn't I say that?
Not even supposed to hit the quarterback, and so now when some things don't make sense, then that's when you seek understanding, and now we have our understanding. Whereas the team doctor, accidentally punctured the lung of Tyrod Taylor while attempting to inject him with a painkiller
for his ribs
to treat his ribs, which were cracked. And my thing is now, this is going to be bad. This is bad on
Why it's
all
gonna be?
front.
Why it's
All
bad?
front.
What?
Huh?
Wait. What if the doctor is a friend of Justin Herbert's family?
What do you mean by that?
Justin Herbert is the quarterback that started in his place from
Oh, you
Oregon.
say a friend. You say a friend
Friend
of. I
of
thought you
his
said
families.
afraid.
Yeah.
I thought you say, why is he afraid of? I'm like, why do you say
No.
that?
What if he's a
Oh,
friend of their families?
nah, I mean, I don't think that now that I don't. I'm not going to think that sinister of a doctor that I don't even know, or and I never even heard of. Put it like that. But I think it's unfortunate, um, but it's bad
Jimmy, let me
because
tell you something. Let me tell you something. If he's hurt, right? He can't play. He can't perform. That hurts his bonuses. That hurts everything. In contracts, in NFL contract, we have certain triggers. You got to play a certain amount of games. You start this amount of games, you get this much money. You start this amount of games, you get this much money. You play this amount of minutes, you get this much money. You're the starter on day one, you get this money. He was a starter on day one, so he get that. Jimmy, it's a lot of stuff goes in that's gonna affect this man. Cause this young dude from Oregon, about 6'4", 6'5", look like a surfer and can spin that thing. If you don't know nothing about football, he can throw it. He can spin that thing. It gave him an opportunity, Jimmy. They almost beat somebody that almost beat San Francisco the other day with this rookie. Jimmy, that might hurt his career.
well, and it could. Now the thing is that's why many are expecting a lawsuit of some form, and if a lawsuit
But
transpires,
he got
then
to sue his employer, Jimmy. It's hard. You sue your employer, they're going to cut you.
well, you can sue that doctor.
But
The
the
doctor may
doctor's
have
employed by the
some
team.
form. Yeah, but a doctor's not your employee. A doctor that could it may trust me. You can doggone sue somebody down there for anything
But the
nowadays.
doctor was working on behalf of the team.
Yes, but understand. But that means you could sue both of them, but you can't. It'll be harder to sue the employee. But the employee enabled the doctor. But it just depends on which route he wants to go. And if in doing so, I'm quite sure, I'm not the legal beagle, but I'm quite sure that there will be room in that lawsuit to seek every bonus that he could have accrued and obtained if he had the maximum of performance on this season will be numbered into that lawsuit.
And Jimmy, it
And
might factor in his future employment. Because if he get run out by this dude, he's a journeyman anyway. He gonna have to go to another team next year anyway. So, let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm gonna check up on it, but it's gonna be more to this story. This ain't never happened before like this. It's gonna be more to this story. But what else we got? What else we got?
and and I'm laughing at Kerry Holmes' comment, and I
Okay,
just
sir.
paid
I missed
Kerry
it.
Holmes say is that malpractice? Can we get our sponsors to rep him? And so I'm paging Troy Pradia right now, and paging Troy Pradia. He should have been.
Hey,
Troy
Troy,
Pradia
go get that bread now.
he should have been. Troy Pradia should have been on the plane Sunday evening. Trust me, the line is backed around the corner to get to that one right
You
now.
know what
can
though,
risk it.
Jimmy? I'm gonna make a call to his agent on behalf of Troy. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it when I get off the show. I'm glad y'all. I just didn't even think about it like that. But I'm gonna make a call to his agent and have him call Mr. Cox and Mr. Pradia today. So I'm glad. Thank you, Boom Boom Room. Thank you. Thank you. We needed that. Thank you.
And so, speaking of needing that, of course, now it is definitely time right now for another quick break, and we got to go and break it up. And we come right back. Now we're going to talk some NBA. Don't forget, we still got that college news, some rumblings, some serious rumblings have been happening at a couple of schools in the state of Texas. One, a college head coach has resigned. We'll talk about
yes.
that. Yeah. The Denver Nuggets. Think about those guys. Chop shop. Be right back.
So I talk sometimes about the women of the NBA, and often someone will try to correct me and say, you mean the WNBA? And I'll say, no, I mean the NBA. Yes, what you see on your TV when you watch the NBA is men playing basketball. But in every corner of the sport, there are women, all through the league office, team front offices, training staffs, coaching staffs. And none of them, me included, would be able to do the jobs we do the way we do them if it wasn't for Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Honestly, if you are an American woman who appreciates not having to ask your father or husband for permission to manage your own finances, property, health, you owe a gigantic debt to the notorious RBG, something the WNBA recognized with a lovely video tribute before its playoff game last night. So it was surprising then, and disappointing, frankly, when the NBA chose not to do the same. Despite that it was just last month the league held such meaningful moments of silence for not just politician and civil rights icon John Lewis, but actor Chadwick Boseman. If you are a league that holds equality as a core value, and I know for sure that this league does, the icons of that equality can't just be those who helped the men that we all see on TV, but those who paved the way for the women who work right alongside them. After all, the NBA is significantly stronger because of all the women who work in and around it. And we are all significantly stronger because a young lawyer dedicated her life to allowing us to have those opportunities. So thank you, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I don't know how much basketball you watched, but I know you had a hand in making our game better. And I know you will be missed.
Welcome back to the Chop Shop, your midday sports happy hour, the best 120 minutes of your day. Shout out to all of the ladies out there on the Women Rock Wednesday. Shout out to everybody in the YouTube land. If you're on there right now, give us a thumbs up on the YouTube page. If you're on Facebook, could you take out the time to share the show with your timelines, with your friends, with your hoop groups? Share the Chop Shop. That's what we need. We need to increase our digital footprint. This show serves as a great supplement, a great occurrence to help you through the middle of your workday. Or you're sitting at home today. You know, floods have been receding around the Houston area after in the past 48 hours. That was quite a scare for many. We didn't, you know, the rain just kept on coming, especially overnight. So a lot of people, you know, 288 had you out of town. 288 was shut down, turned into a lake again.
What talking about by where by Holly Hall?
Yeah, all up in there.
Always
shut down.
Do it right there.
Shut down. You know, and on yesterday, cars were underwater, and once again, you know, the only thing I can think of as to why somebody would drive through that water like that. I mean, normally most of us done it before, but I would go when I'm following somebody. I'm gonna let the nut go in front of me, and I think about the same size vehicle, and I'll let that nut go, or I'll let a truck go.
Why don't you just take your butt home, Jimmy?
No,
Why don't you just go home?
No. I'm talking about if you're at a point of either you know, stop or proceed, you know, and you can't, you know, sometimes you can't turn around. You got to stop and seek safe ground. And I think most of us have been there before. And there's not been a time that I've made that move without having somebody in front of me. Because here's my thought, my fear of it is, what if you're going and you mess around and veer off the pavement while you're going and following that water and you're on your own? You know what I'm talking about? Like, let's say if it's nighttime, just to add to the scenario. You're gone. So but it's some people, I mean, I'm looking at cars. I don't know, guys. I mean, some people out there didn't, there you go, Jonathan Griffin. I was just about to say, the only reason I can see that you're doing so is if you have been paying insurance on your vehicle for far too long, hadn't filed a claim, and that would be the perfect time. If your car is somewhat of a half hoopty, then take that thing clean through the water. I understand it now. That's what you should do. Well, I'm not, the views and thoughts of my opinions not, you know, necessarily reflect. I'm not the lawyer. But I'm telling you, if you pay, I thought of that a long time ago. I said, if you paid insurance,
I ain't never thought about that because I didn't want that water getting in there on me and I can't get out. So I ain't never thought
No,
about it.
you let it go up in that water and just park it there. It's gonna fill on. It's gonna come on, rise on over. Just park it on the side of that thing. It's gonna rise on over.
I like my cars.
That way, the insurance gonna pay because they know you tried to park. You sought safety. Now, if you driving, that's be a different old thing. I don't
Jimmy,
know.
we got some insurance people on the air right now. Okay, let's move right along.
What they say?
Let's move. We got some insurance people.
Trey Phillips say some people want that car in the water. and so and also Frank say, yep, that pushed the water away.
Jimmy, hold up. Hey, y'all, help me out. We ain't got to talk about it a little bit. But y'all, at some point, we got to talk about this Wells Fargo because I know a lot of y'all bank with them. Jimmy, the CEO, did you hear what he said, Jimmy? Jimmy, are you there?
No.
Did you hear what the CEO of Wells? This woman rock wins, so we can go here. Jimmy, he said, the CEO, he said he was, he exasperated some black employees in a Zoom meeting by saying the banks having trouble reaching diversity goals, Jimmy, was because there wasn't enough qualified minorities. The CEO said this. As brilliant as these black minds are, Jimmy, my question is, to go any further, where the hell they recruiting at? Did he go to Howard? Great business school. Did he go to Florida A&M? Awesome business school. Where is his succession plan? Jimmy, let me tell you something, man. There is not a limited pool. Let me just help everybody. There's not a Mr. CEO. I'm gonna get y'all his name. His name is Charles Scarf. There is not a limited. We're gonna take a station break right here. There is not a limited pool of black talent to recruit from. Just like there is no correlation, by the way, of playing college lacrosse. Jimmy, I'm learning this about my son being on Wall Street in New York. Lacrosse, having a knack for bond trading. Yet, trading floors have been packed with lacrosse guys for years. Jimmy, the lacrosse, if you played lacrosse at Syracuse or one of them guys out there, you on Wall Street, you on the bond trade, it's called a closed network, Mr. Scarf. And it's time for us to crack it open. Jimmy, I know I went off, but Jimmy, to all the people, just think about that, y'all. No qualified, as brilliant as these black young minds are today. Dude, you ain't been looking, Mr. Scarf, and I hope you're watching this show. So what else we got, Jimmy? I just had to go there.
Yeah.
Had to go there.
And of course, we also have the news that hit the airwaves on yesterday, on Tuesday afternoon, was that a longtime Texas State men's basketball coach, Danny Casper, he resigned amid allegations of being accused of making racist remarks at one of his players, who's now a former player at Texas State University. This news, it took 3 months, 90 days for this to come to a head. I was wondering what was taking so long the whole while. Remember, I was up that way. Remember, went to San Marcos. Remember last month when I went to the ASAC Classic in Austin, and I took the time out to go and go clean 30 miles away to go to the outlet. They have for those that aren't living in Texas, they have a nice outlet which is right between Austin and San Antonio. And I went over there and I met with a couple of the coaches, met with with one of the coaches from Texas State, then met with one of the coaches from UT on my way back up to my hotel on the other side of town. And I asked, even then, what's taking it so long? And the thing is, here's what I've got in a nutshell. There are so many people. Remember, they did investigate and interview with a lot of people, every coach. And part of the process, part of the due process, is the accused gets to read the depositions, the lawyer attorney, which means he passes it on to his client. So in any deposition that's taken, you get to see it. The lawyer get to sit in on the deposition if they so wish to do so. So this means that everything that you're saying on the oath, that head coach knows it and walking around, and can, and knows how you're thinking, know what you said, know how you feel about him while under oath. That was a lot of eggshells to walk on for a lot of people within the program. He made the decision to resign. And one thing I noticed that I talked to another college coach, a couple of college coaches this morning, and one of them informed me that the administration at Texas State, they searched because they had been contacted about that job a few months ago. One college coach that I know as the head coach had been contacted about that job. He searched, and he's of color. He's African American. He searched and did not find not one black in administration. He said he immediately turned it down. Not the job down, but he turned down the opportunity. That's what I'm saying. He wasn't approached with the job. People do put feelers out there. He said no. That was a deal breaker with this guy. Everybody has different deal breakers, and he was in his job. His job that he has his eyes on. He doesn't think he would be able to get that job coming from Texas State if he would have took that. So here's what I'm getting: not one black. So this means that a crew of, which is common. A lot of administrations is predominantly or all white. They hired Danny Casper. For them to hire him and know him and to know these type of allegations, that means you're going to let it exhaust all the way through before making a decision, because otherwise you're saying, oops, look what we done. We made the bobo. We hired, look what we done. All you got to just is think about it. No interviews, no comments from those people trying to justify it, because you could come out worse attempting to justify comments, racist comments. He said that he called the kid, he used the N-word. And people that know him, sometimes you don't realize there's certain white people that there is so ingrained, it's so in them that they're not really per se racist, but just that's the way they are. Kind of like
Wait, go back, rewind that.
It's like you have knowingly and you have unknowingly. Some people are unknowingly.
Unknowingly what?
How would you say, make insensitive remarks or make what they call now as racist remarks, and you're doing it so long because nobody has contested it. So some people you feel that that's kind of like what's wrong? Somebody says something, man, what you doing? All of a sudden, like, wait, I've been doing that for 50 years like this. What the hell? Or 20 years like this. I always say
that means you ain't been around enough black people then to check your ass. That's what that means. That's what that means.
And as being a college coach, most of your teams
I said to check your ass. Them players ain't gonna check him. They're not in a position of power.
But all of those players have parents. Paddle?
Dude, I'm saying, I'm not giving that excuse. Because those guys, I can't get in the mind of a racist. I can't get in their mind. But me sitting up here at a school that check this out now. This excuse you giving this guy. He's so racist. He's so blind to it that he know these black bodies are requiring him to have a job, I guess. So he can just still, like it's Jim Crow, can still call them out of their names and call them the N-word. Come on, man. No, that man know what he was doing. That man know what he's doing. That's his way of life. It's his way of life. And guess what?
When you say know what he was doing, what do you mean?
When he said what he said, if he called him, he meant it. You act like, well, they saying they saying it and not. You saying he's saying it and not don't understand what he's saying. You know, he just said it for so long.
Well, from the accusation, from what I got is that he was using the word as a comparison to what the player, to that player, that initial player who sparked the fire. He was using him and comparing him to an N-word. So not necessarily saying like you this, not, you know what I'm saying? He would come. So in his mind,
should have been gone. Bingo.
But that's not the first. See, remember when it first came up of the accusations. Remember I told you guys I gotten one phone call from a former player, and he says he'd be willing to come on the Chop Shop anytime to speak on it. And I said, no, not yet. Let's wait until it's over, because we don't know how this thing is going to land with him. You know, when I say with him, I mean with Danny Casper. That player was former Yates High School star Darius Pee Wee Gardner. He played under Danny Casper at SFA. SFA, remember, Pee Wee left. Pee Wee was starting. He was playing. Most of the time, underclassmen starters just don't leave if there's no incident. You know, Pee Wee left and went to American University, where he ended up starting there and got his degree, and ended up staying in the Baltimore area working for Cal Ripken on his foundation before coming on back to Houston about 3 years ago. Well, that at the time that happened, now Pee Wee was the starting point guard on that Yates 2010, that mythical national championship team that took the world, the country by storm. He was a starting point guard on that team. And Pee Wee has stories. Pee Wee, I'm not sure we got interviewed for a deposition in this case now, I don't know, but he's not the only one.
Jimmy, we know that, man. We got multiple stories. Jamal Shed's brother we know he done said it. What are you trying? What picture are you trying to paint?
We're not talking about him said it. That's what he's lost his job over. We're talking about the pattern or any previous history with other incidents or other situations of the way that you talk to black people, black men, the way that he talked with his assistant coaches. Remember, there's one of the most popular head coaches in all of Texas boys basketball. Arguably the most popular, or we didn't say one of the most popular. Remember, this guy went and was an assistant coach for Danny Casper. And that is David Peavy, who's the Duncanville head coach. He was at Hightower with DJ Augustine, left Hightower and went into the coaching ranks. Stayed there for the short time, like, man, I'm done with this. I can't do this. And went on back into coaching, high school coaching. But the thing is, Danny Casper, I had people ask me, Danny Casper, I mean, me and Danny Casper never broke bread at each other's table. I don't think we've ever went out to eat together. So that would not be, I would not qualify to tell you guys personal conversations as to what he is and what he's not. So that's in regard to me. Now, I've been around a lot of coaches, been around him. And if you look back on it, I had my meter on, had a little warn, and now you do for metal detectors. I mean, the meter probably would go off on certain things, but the the thing is, I mean,
I
this
don't
type
care.
of stuff,
He gone.
I don't think it's isolated. I don't think he's the. I mean,
What you mean?
in this part of the
You don't
country,
think it's isolated? What you mean?
I don't think he's the on this situation. In other words, think about it. It came to a point after a former player made his
I
discretions
understand.
public.
What you mean? You don't
So,
think it's isolated
don't
at
say
that
nothing.
school
If he-
around the country?
No, if he don't say, I'm talking about around the state. I
Okay.
ain't going around the country.
Okay.
Around the state. If that guy don't say nothing, that kid, that young man don't say nothing,
He's still been
then
doing the same thing.
yeah, still be doing the same
Guess
thing.
what? He's gone now. What are we going to do? We got a question on here. Question. How does we as a basketball community, I don't know this guy, this from Stacey Houston, help TJ keep his job? He is the entrant right now. He needs to be permanent. Is TJ? Oh, I know TJ. I just don't know him that good. I know who TJ is now. It just clicked in my
Yeah.
head. Just clicked in my head. I know who TJ is now. But how do we help him get this job? At a place where, Jimmy, you just said, the administrative, they harbored and fostered that kind of environment that Danny Casper was doing for years. Because Pee Wee graduated a long time ago. So Danny Casper been doing this around a long time. So the administration who kept retaining him, I'm sure they know, will they give this kid TJ a chance? Is it a time to change of a culture? I'm not a Texas State guy. I'm not a Texas. I don't know too much about the school. I've never seen them play a down. I'm just trying to say, if Danny Casper gone, great question by the way, TJ. What couldn't we do as a community? I don't know what the hell to do. I'm not an alumni there. What can we do?
To keep TJ his job?
No, to get
Right.
TJ to be the permanent, the head coach.
Well, right now, as they approach their season, right, which start November the 20th, Thanksgiving weekend, he's going to be just like Byron Rim. Went through a situation where his boss had to resign last year at IUPUI. And Byron Rim got the interim tag. So that means you have a 6-month interview process, which basically they're going to be watching you. They're going to be checking you out and all along the way. And either they're going to make a decision they're going to make a decision whether to keep you or to open it up and do a search to get the successor to the job. Hey man, TJ has earned the right at least for this much. At least for this much. He's earned that.
Wait a minute. At least for what much? Just to be the interim?
Well, yeah, that's a start because they could have brought somebody else in to be the head coach in this one. The season don't start as they got almost a month.
So my
deferment.
question was, what can we do as a community? That was the question. Is it anything that the community can do? Nothing. If not,
you can. The thing is, his hands is behind his back. You know why? He can't do any visits, so you can't see TJ.
I said, what
I'm
can
talking about the
we
community.
do?
It ain't Howard, you're not involved in that. It ain't shit you can do with that. I'm just telling you the real.
Hey, sir, I'm asking the
It ain't
damn
nothing you can
question
do
that's
with
on
that.
the screen. I asked you the question that was on the screen.
You asking me for the viewer?
He
I'm
asked
answering the question.
I told you, you never listen.
It ain't nothing. Understand. Right now, he has the interim spot. He's not the first and not the last.
You know what?
Interim guys know what they have to do. They have to show that they can run the program. They have to show. People are going to be watching. And guess what? While you're doing that, that next guy is going to somebody in that program that's still going to be loyal to that previous head coach. and that guy's going to be, somebody's going to be the
It
informant.
seems like to me you don't have faith in this guy being a head coach at that university.
No, that's not true. That's not that.
I said
I've
that's
already gave my endorsement to TJ.
No. I ain't talking about your endorsement. I'm just saying what
That's what endorsement.
What your
that's what
words
endorsement
saying.
is.
What your words saying.
That's no. You ask what can you do right now? We've done what we could do to get that point.
Somebody
to get him in there.
Somebody put Stacey Houston. I sit there and said it, and you trying to make it to me. God damn it! I'm asking what's on the thing.
Well, you didn't quote this from Stacey. You asked.
I did say Stacey Houston. I read it. You don't listen. That's the point I'm trying to make to you.
Well, Ella, we both don't listen half the damn time we talking loud. That's a normal. That's a stop sign talking to a stop sign.
So you
do
saying
that. We understand each other's language.
Excuse me. Stacey Houston said. So there's nothing we can do at all. Come on, Mr. Hicks.
No. Right now, as far as him in his position to become head coach, right now, that decision is made. He's an interim. Once you're interim, you're on the clock. So what you can do, two things. Go get some of your top recruits to commit to Texas State. Okay? Well, guess what? Remember Chris Walker was the interim at Texas Tech? Let me take you guys back. And Stacey, you know about this.
Jimmy, I found out it was some extenuating circumstances there that I was defending Chris on this show, and I got a phone call and a text saying it's more to it than people are saying it is. So that's all I'm saying.
It's always going to be more to a story. But I do know one thing. In an interim fold, if it was known that was more to it by all parties involved in the administration of Texas Tech at that time, Chris Walker wouldn't have been the interim head coach. That's what I'm saying. That's a fact. So that means everybody wasn't privy to the understanding of whatever all may be involved. But at that time, that was a prized recruit that basically said, I'm coming to Texas Tech if he's the head coach. And in a nutshell, that's basically what he meant was, I'm not coming if he's not the head coach. And they was like, basically their actions basically said so. I'm not saying that what Texas Tech said, but their actions was like so.
I mean, you just saying,
what I'm saying is, we can get him some recruits to commit. But in the act of committing, he can't do any home visits until January the 1st. He can't do any host any kids on campus for official visits to January the 1st. These are extenuating circumstances in his own, unprecedented. So right now, what are you going to do? You're going to go, I'm saying, so to help a kid, he needs prospects. He needs players, right? But at the same time, he needs to win because those kids, the majority of the kids on that roster, he has his fingerprints is on those players. TJ knows a lot of those guys. TJ got him there. The all-time leading scorer of the program, the history of the program, who just graduated a year ago, Nigel Pearson. TJ got in there because of his relationship with the Texas Pro program and coaching up under the Marlon Lowe and that umbrella. They have about 4 kids from Texas Pro that's at Texas State. About 4 that has been there. From that one grassroots program. That ain't counting the Louisiana kids that TJ, he's from New Orleans, that has gotten there. So the relationship, he has to somewhat teeter around the 500 mark. Well, I don't know what was their record last year in the Southland for Texas State. What was their record? And TJ, we need him to win. At the same time, we can help him with our support. You can send more emails to the athletic director. You can let him know how fun you are. Those type of things, it depends on the heart of the receiver of those emails and letters. That can happen. So yes, Stacey Houston, there are some things that you can do. But as far as him in that position he's in, right now, he's on. It's his title. If Byron Rim got granted the head coaching job, you're going to use your resources, and that's what coaches do. TJ is going to reach around the country, and everybody that he knows that's in the form or fashion that can help him, they're going to, in the next 6 months, they're going to be trying to chisel away at the heart of that athletic department, athletic director.
So he's a head coach in your eye. I got a question, because I saw on social media, I'm looking at social media.
Ooh, 21-11. Ooh, that's hard. Third in conference. Damn.
Okay.
I mean, you got to meet him.
So
you got to meet him.
Okay. So this is what would you get? This school is a mid-major program, right?
Yeah.
Mid-major minus or mid-major plus? Which one is it?
Minus.
Mid-major. Okay. Mid-major. Okay. So, are there any other coaches out there that you think that Texas State should be looking at, other than TJ, that happen to be African American?
Yeah,
and you don't have to answer this. I'm asking because there's some people out there.
Because if I do that, I'm splitting the vote.
No, I'm talking in the boom boom room right now because he in that business. Stacy, I'm just want to know: are there any other legitimate candidates? Should a Jerome Tang? I'm talking to the boom boom room, or what the other guy that he used a couple of more names last night, or guys like that. I mean, no, nothing against TJ, because it just sounds like to me when you said it, it's just the way you said it. This interim tag, and that's just it for him. That's what it sounded to me.
No, I didn't mean like that. I mean that's it for him right now. I mean that's
yeah.
He's not gonna be granted. You're the head. You new head coach.
You know the AD. Right. Have you ever met the AD of Texas Tech? Texas State.
I don't know Larry like that. I don't know him like that. I know of him, but I don't. That you got to realize. I painted the picture on what that administration looked like. That's a different type of party. That when at the functions. Remember, I gave an analogy a couple weeks ago about as a lot of us as black folk in the spectrum, we got to strive to stop going to the same party. Try to go to the other party. There's other parties going on, not just one other party. There are different other parties going on. Well, the parties that I've started to go to, it includes some of the black administrators, but so I haven't ventured into the predominantly white administrators only party. You remember on the movie Life, they got the whites only pies. I ain't ate them pies yet. I'm still getting myself. I'm still thinking my thumb and tasting these other pies that I just got in the room with recent years.
And Stacy said something, Jimmy. Let me help you out a little bit. I want to address this because he said, yes, there is some, but why place? And this is what he don't understand. I got to explain this to him. Yeah, he said, but why place those against getting a job? He's in this spot. Let him keep it. Let me tell you something. The reason I said what I said, Stacey Houston, is about other opportunities. What if they don't give him the job? What if they don't make him he's the interim and that's it? We got to have somebody else lined up to get that job. Because it's a chance that he might not get it. So we just can't be. I keep trying to explain to you people. You got to have a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C. We always, let's go here. And then if it don't happen for you, we sitting around talking about, damn, man. Have a plan, a succession plan. If they don't allow this young man to do it, let's have another a guideline. What if you won't give it to him? What about him? If you don't give it to him, then what about him? We got to start playing chess, ladies and gentlemen, and quit playing checkers. Checkers is played out. These people are playing chess with us. They're having plans. They having plans upon plans. So you got to have a plan. That's why I asked about the other qualified coaches. Not to put them against each other. No, but we got to have options. How about that? You can go from there, Tim.
And normally, I think how a lot of this goes is that people going to be, they've already, a lot of people have already circled the wagon because they didn't know how this thing was going to end. A lot of other coaches and other schools, a lot of people have already, remember, they don't necessarily make the phone call themselves. It don't work like that. Everybody has agents. Or not everybody, but most coaches nowadays have agents or representations or search firm connection. And they would go and try to jockey themselves into position to see if there's an opportunity. And there's others who don't even want to put their name in if they don't have a legitimate shot because it would ruffle too many feathers wherever they are. And those people have already invisibly exposed themselves behind the curtain to their interest in the job. So they're going to still be there. Once again, once the season starts, and thanks Tim Littlefield for giving us that, and that's why I asked how did they do. I know they did well. I didn't remember the exact record. With 21-11, came in third place in the Southland Conference. Third place in the Southland, that's pretty damn good. So think about it. Most, as we mentioned, Byron Rim, he came into a situation, whereas that school was on the decline, meaning that remember IUPI was down at the bottom. It was like
and
down
he
at the
actually
bottom.
got the job, didn't he?
And he actually got the job because it was easy to match. When you're at the bottom, Alan, it's easy damn near to match the bottom.
So
you couldn't
saying,
go.
So you're saying he got to do great this year. So
damn, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You would
no matter how much support that you want to give him. No, but see,
no, support helps. Support helps.
Some people can't. Some people don't understand, dude. All I'm saying, and it's all I'm gonna say about it. Okay, let him be the candidate. But what if he don't get it? Where your ass gonna be at? So keep going, Jimmy. Because guess what? Yeah. If they felt he was a candidate, Jimmy, why can't they hire him now? Could they hire him now? No. If they wanted to.
Well, the hire has to be on the athletic director.
No, that's what I'm talking about.
He's gonna be like Daryl Morey. This will be your last hire. Whoever, like I say about Daryl Morey with the Rockets, whoever the Rockets hire, that's gonna be Daryl Morey's last hire, guaranteed. So whoever this AD is, this gonna be your last hire.
So wait a minute. So Texas State didn't had some bad hires before?
No, not necessarily. But this guy, that administration have been there for like damn near 2 decades. Has been there for a grip. It ain't been there. He's there. He lived. You know what I'm saying? He's part of the fabric of the community down in San Marcos, Texas. So, and I think it is a Sun Belt conference, not the Southland. I'm sorry, I mentioned Southland, Sun Belt. I mean, well, I'm rooting for him, but that means you normally you are expected to at least meet expectations. Now, the best thing can happen, guess what? Expectations. Every season, a few weeks before they go into the regular season, the coaches meet on a conference call, this year's gonna be a conference call, a virtual call, and they would meet and they would discuss their projections. From the media would give their projections of what each team gonna come in the conference. They announce the preseason this and the preseason that. Well, hopefully they can dip them low because that's some high shoes to fill when you're trying to, you're looking over your shoulder. You don't know. Remember, most head coaches have identified and selected their own staff. That means everybody in your room, you didn't select. These not your guys as far as the coaches. So are they going to buy into what you're trying to do to help you get the job? Because even if you name the job, how they know what that means?
Mm-hmm.
If they name him the job tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
that don't guarantee you're going to keep the rest of that staff.
You know what I like? Thank you, Will Johnson. Just said TJ can get it done. That's what I wanted to hear. I didn't want to hear that. All this other stuff is rhetoric. If he can get it done, then he's qualified enough to get it done. My question to you is, Will, why haven't the AD, he been watching him? How many years TJ been there? Jimmy? How many years TJ been there?
About 5.
Coach been watching DTJ for 5 years. The AD, the administration, been watching him for 5 years. Okay? Great dude. Everybody said, Chad say he's a great dude. They've been watching him. See, reason I tried, Jimmy, this, I'll never forget what I told Penny. When he first started talking about he want to be a coach. These people have to look at you as a leader of men. Not just a basketball coach. They have to look, that's how they look at you, because they doing the hiring. Of course, I want you to be a great basketball coach, but I hope TJ has, Jimmy, this is what I'm saying, because you know him better than I do. Y'all know him better than I do. I hope he has exemplified leadership and servitude over his 5 years. That man has been watching him. And all I'm saying is, if that man has been watching him and watching, then Will just said it, then TJ can get the job done. See, that's all I wanted to know. Is he a guy that can move over? Jimmy, you know for a fact that 12 inches to the left, it's a big jump. That 12 inches to the left, to the coach, to the head coach's seat, it's a big jump. It's a big, big jump. So that's all I'm saying. Y'all know him better than I do. You know I'm supporting him. If you, Stacey, if you support him, I'm supporting him. But I want the coach. I don't want to support. We support him and support him, and then they don't give him the job. So then we back with another Dana Casper. I'm trying to win, man. I ain't trying to place a show. I'm trying to win. But Jimmy, you can take over.
Yeah, I mean, and of course, Todd, we just addressed this and why didn't they just hire him then? I mean, it don't work like that and with us. It don't work like that with us. We're gonna be placed in that interim spot. This is 1 month before the season. Remember now.
So Jimmy, he just said state jobs must be advertised.
Yes, well, we know that. That's everybody knows that.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, they got to, before they post the job, that's any.
Jimmy, if they post it today, it's advertised, right? If they post it, no.
They post it,
it
becomes officially open.
It's officially open. Okay. All right.
But they have to wait a certain amount of days. You have to wait a certain amount of days to post it. And I don't know,
Jimmy,
there's a certain amount of days.
Jimmy, what about the meeting behind the meeting? All we know,
it's always
TJ might be meeting. TJ might be meeting with the AD.
I mean,
we don't know.
You don't realize. You got to realize if all of those people, and to answer the question, thing Alex asked, if he wanted to be an assistant coach, just spoke up and got interviewed by the AD. When I'm interviewed, I'm going to translate as you're asking if they got interviewed during this process of them making the decision of why they were investigating the previous head coach. Everybody that worked in that basketball department, everybody got a deposition, got interviewed. So that part there, understand. Though, once again,
even the staff, even TJ got interviewed.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. I'm not telling you what I heard. I'm telling you. So and once again, let me reiterate. Every single one of those depositions, that's what they call them. They call them a deposition. When they interviewing the assistant coaches and the secretary, and they interviewing former players, those are depositions because that's not a you're not in a legal courtroom, but that can be held against you if it is admitted into court. That statement, whatever you give, can be admitted into court proceedings if that ever was one. Say a lawsuit or something, you give it a deposition, so everything you say must be true and blah blah blah. Now, the person, the accused, which is Danny Casper. Danny Casper's attorney has the legal right to sit in there during the deposition while you're talking, while they ask you, do you think that Danny Casper was a racist? Now you got to say yes or no. Does he did anything racist? I'm just giving an example of what a question could be. I don't, and so whatever you're saying is being recorded, and they will make a transcript. It's being transcribed.
In a deposition, it's a sworn statement.
Yes.
Okay.
So, yes, that they could use in the court proceedings.
Okay.
So then that means, and also not only is the accused Danny Casper's attorney, not Danny Casper himself, but his legal representation gets to be there. Well, they get a copy of the deposition when it's transcribed on the transcript a couple of days later. They get that. And that attorney gives it to his client to read. So that means you're going through this 3 months and you know which one of your assistant coaches said some foul shit about you. You know which former player that was on your team may have said this or said that about you. You know it. So then the question becomes, if we let you keep your job, is that a safe working environment for everybody based on all these stuff that may have been said about you, and you know what's been said about you based on the deposition? Is it safe if we let you keep your job? So it becomes that, and as opposed to the other, probably more so other stuff, because now these young men that you've attracted to the campus, you've basically told their parents, I'm gonna take care of these guys. And that's when it comes that's why I say walking on eggshells. Walking on eggshells. So I hope, like I say, I'm down with guess what? TJ, once again, he has earned this opportunity to prove himself to those who don't know. A lot of us know that TJ can get talent. They came in third place with TJ's fingerprints all over that roster in the Sun Belt. So if that's the case, think about it. A lot of players had basically, I've seen a coach or a player sometimes they might use the term check out. TJ, can keep them enthused. But then the thing is, it's not going to be easy. Once again, because those assistant coaches, you didn't hire them. Can you trust those assistant coaches that are on the side of you? Can you trust them? That's the thing. Even if you can't trust them, all you do now is just hope and pray that they're not going to roll you up under the bus. Because I've seen situations where some coaches in interim stuff, man, they be every man for himself. We just mentioned one a while ago when he was at Texas Tech. He was every man for himself.
You sure know what to say.
So that's something I want to share that with you guys. And guess what? If you know, hey, best thing you can do, get some of your kids to go and do some unofficial visits over there.
Okay.
You can do unofficials, right? Go do an unofficial visit to Texas State. If you're going to the Austin, San Antonio area, and you have a player that is pretty damn good, because understand, if they came in third place, they need to get better. How they just said, they're not trying to place a show. You got to win, and that's hopefully everything will be. That's the thing. Every grassroots coach in the state and around the state, man, they're gonna say one thing. You're gonna say like that coach speak. You're gonna say grassroots speak. But are you going to let one of your kids commit to Texas State while TJ is there? Remember, they don't have to sign.
I got a question.
They don't have to sign.
Let
them commit.
I got a question to you, all you experts on college basketball and high school basketball. I'm not expert there, okay? With the college coaches, and I'm not expert. I got expert. I'm seeing people. TJ's a very good guy. Hope's got a good shot. PJ, what if these people do like them other people do, inundate the AD's office or the president's office with glowing emails about TJ? I know, Jimmy, it might not help, but guess what? Y'all telling me I can't hire TJ. Mr. Lofton and everybody who think he's such a great guy, Jimmy, send an email. Think about it. That's how people get this stuff done. Inundate them with emails. See, Corey, thank you, Corey. Corey, I'm not an expert like the rest of these guys. Jimmy and them, that's their job. I'm just saying, I know if I'm at the head of something and I keep getting emails about a certain guy, man, I'm gonna pay attention. I'm from Houston. I'm Louisiana. I'm from so-and-so. I'm from so-and-so. I'm from so-and-so. I'm from so. TJ can get my kid anytime he wants to. I don't know what you're gonna put in an email. But let's do like the Karens do. When they try to get us in trouble, they email. Jamie, I don't know. Like I said,
I mentioned that earlier. I said that's one of the things that you can do is you can go and send your messages and send your words. I said it may fall on deaf ears. I said it earlier, but then you could do that. That will satisfy, and that's one of those things like it's kind of like voting. Some people say, well, man, that ain't gonna do no good. What it does, it'll satisfy what's inside of you to say you tried to do your part. My thing is the grassroots community. Remember, just this past 2020 class, right? In 2020, Texas State they signed 2 of the top 25 players from out of Houston. They're freshmen, incoming freshmen. 2 of the top 25, right? That's on campus or whatnot right now. Mm-hmm. So, and they've gotten players from the area. They've gotten top players.
I don't know nothing, but I know Dallas. I know he got plugs in Dallas. He should have plugs in Louisiana. And I know the people in Texas, Houston love him. So, I mean, like I said, I don't know nothing. I'm just a small little cog in this jigsaw puzzle. I'm just one little piece. And I just think a write-in campaign and the ADs and the president numbers are very easy to get. I mean, just write in, give them a glowing letter of recommendation. Hey, let me tell y'all something. In the business world, might not be in y'all world, but in the business world, if the right person emails somebody on your behalf, Jimmy, you skip a whole lot of steps. I'm telling you, just happened to my son. In the business world. And I think this business, the right email from the right person, or a lot of people, can get you a whole, I promise y'all. And we just got to up our game. We got to up our, yeah, I know you like tweeting it and tweeting it out. Instead of tweeting, write a nice email. If you have letterhead, with your letterhead on it. With who you represent. I'm so-and-so at Duncanville School District. I love TJ. He got that. Hey, like I said, it might not work. But I know if you don't try it, I know that won't work. So let's try it. So that'll be it just takes me a long time I got to hear y'all talk, and then I came up with first I look for y'all for solutions. Hey, that might help. That might help. And we got time, and we can keep, Jimmy, we got a whole season to keep. Hold up. Hey, Jimmy, prep them before the season even starts. Put it on their mind. Don't wait till you lose a few games. No, I win a few games. Put it on their mind right now. While you're thinking about it, put that in your tech. Put
Well,
that
I
in the
mean,
note.
my thing, I'm just telling them. I mean, why not go it on and get one of your kids to commit? You don't have to sign. See, that's the name. You can commit. You have a justified
But
reason
Jimmy,
to
everybody
not
ain't got no
sign.
kids. Jimmy, stop. Everybody don't have a kid. I ain't got no kid. I'm gonna write a letter, and I don't even know TJ. I'm gonna write an
No,
email
no, I'm
with my
talking
letterhead on
about grassroots community
it.
that has players, the grassroots coaches that has
I
recruitable
understand,
Division One
but
student
every
athletes.
grassroots, everybody's not a grassroots coach. I'm not a grassroots coach.
No, I'm
Michael Jordan and Otha Brown might not. All I'm saying, all of us can help. We just can't depend on the grassroots coaches. All of us can help. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying.
well. Hell, I've already. You can ask Larry Thies. Jim Hicks has already made contact with his office
This ain't
in
about
Boston.
you today, man. It's bigger than you.
I'm just saying, I've already done it.
No. I'm
I
talking
ain't
about
talking about it.
no.
I've already done it.
Jimmy, I'm not personalizing this. I'm talking to the people who out here. These people had given glowing. You got to follow me, man. These people been giving glowing opinions about TJ all up throughout the Facebook feed. I've been reading them. He's a great guy. He's this. He deserves it. He can get it done. So all I'm telling, those people might not have. You ahead of us. You know who the guy is. I got to go look him up. You know, if you can post his information up here, I'll put it on the screen. I'm just trying to figure out if it's a way. And thank you, Stacy, for asking that question. Great question. But you got to understand, when you ask a question, you got to give me more than just some stuff. I'm gonna try to pull it out you. That's just me. I'm trying to just pull it out of everybody. See, I just pulled out Jimmy already done did it. So guess what? Jimmy, you done did it. Guess what? We're going to follow lead. Me, Kenneth Lofton, and everybody else, we're going to write our letter. I promise you that coach going to get the AD and the president going to get a letter from me. I can't wait to get to type it. So that's it. Should I pen the letter with the Jumpman logo? Hey, Michael Jordan, boy, I like that, Michael Jordan. I like that, Michael Jordan. Jimmy, check this out. This is Michael Jordan. He's going to put the Jumpman logo on there. Man, do that, baby. Do that. I like that. I know, see, you took y'all a long time to figure that out. I figured it out immediately. But that's all, man. Let's help him. You know, Stacy put out a mandate. Let's help these guys. Let's help him. Let's help TJ. Let's help TJ. But guess what? We still got to have another dude in our back pocket in case they don't want TJ. We got to have somebody else we can promote too. So I'm a stickler for the backup plan, y'all. Y'all got to hear me on that one.
Well, do understand that many schools nowadays utilize search firms to fill these college jobs, and that's a part of the business that we had a couple of months ago. The only Black-owned search firm founder that was at that time that was existing legally in the United States. Had him on the chop shop. The athletic director or the president gets to determine who that search firm will be. Most of the time, remember, this situation, the athletic director's been there for a while. But in many cases nowadays, the same search firm who got the AD there is going to be the same search firm used to get one of the AD guys there. You know, that's kind of like in the business when you notice when they are in the college basketball ranks, or I'm sorry, college sporting ranks, whenever they say a new AD comes along, that means the coaches are on the clock. That's an old saying that people use over and over. Whenever there's a new AD, it's like the clock is ticking now, because eventually that AD wants to will likely prefer to get his guy. into one or both of those or different seats of head coaching spots. So remember, these search firms, this is how this stuff works. So that means now it goes back on, if there was a black-owned search firm legally, there are many of them that act as de facto underground in Texas that go and help and get guys
legally. You got to say legally, then you got to say if it's opposite of that, it's illegal. So you mean just publicly, just publicly got one.
Well, legally mean you have to apply, you have to fill out your stuff as a vendor and to that particular institution as a potential vendor, because that means they gotta hire you. That's who has to hire you for services. So that means you legally meaning it's kind of like a scouting service, right? And some scouting services out there, there are thousands of them, but not everybody is an NCAA approved scouting service. So that means a lot of guys give intel to the and call themselves a scouting service, but they're not.
Does the search firms just only happen in basketball, or happen in football too?
No, athletic direct.
I got a question. Did they use a search firm to get Deion Sanders?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know, but it costs money. I don't think that. I'm gonna ask Ashley because I reached out to him. I did call him yesterday. I'm sorry. I did call him this morning. I called Ashley. I'm gonna tell you guys at what time I hit Ashley at 10:17 this morning, and I thought about it. And of course, I didn't realize Deion was doing all that stuff. That means Ashley ain't no telling what he was in the middle of. Probably, doing. So he'll probably hit me back in about 5 or 6. About 5 or 6, he might hit me back.
And let me tell you something too, Jimmy, in case people didn't know it. When I talked to Deion's confidant today, my source today, a person that got boots on the ground there, they had glowing remarks for Ashley Robertson. Deion respects the young brother and respects what he's doing, and Ashley is good. Jimmy, I knew he was good, but evidently Ashley is good. Ashley is great at what he's doing, because that thing, dude, landing a Hall of Famer. Jimmy, you got to understand, being around Hall of Famers and been around them before, Jimmy, they just think different. And they just carry themselves different. There's everything about them is different. And for that young brother to land that guy a fish like that, my hat's off to Ashley Robertson right now. And I mean, it's just unbelievable to pull this thing out. See, right now we can have a lot of speculations, but this thing gonna have some rippling effects that's gonna better, and I think HBCUs around the country, and put them in a different light where people won't mind giving and supporting these places. So, and that's what I'm hoping for, and had to start somewhere. And shout out to Ashley Robinson.
Indeed, man, indeed, indeed, and that's so. Of course, it's a good convo on that. It's almost time to land this plane, but as we do, we will go right into conversation from last night. Lakers dropped 114 and 106 to the Denver Nuggets. They maintained a 2-1 lead over the Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals. LeBron James, he had a triple-double, 30, 11, and 10. Anthony Davis, 27 points, but only 2 rebounds. No block shots for AD, and he was 0 for 4 from three-point land. Looking down, I'd always look at the bench on the and Caruso played 25 minutes, right? Was 1 for 7 from the field. 0 for 4 from three-point land. Only had 2 points. He had 2 steals, a couple of good defensive efforts, but I really believe that Caruso logged too many minutes in that game. He was in the game during the. I'm talking about when Denver set the tempo and ran off. The Lakers made a gallant run to cut that thing down to 3 during the closing minutes. But however, Jamal Murray came alive with back-to-back threes, then made a hell of assist to Paul Millsap, which, think about Paul Millsap, one thing about him, and I've grown to as following him during the playoffs, he doesn't score much, but it seemed like you remember every single bucket once the game is over. Every single bucket. You know, the Joker, 22 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. Mitchell Murray, 28 points, 12 assists, 8 rebounds, 4 for 8 from three-point lane. Only took 17 shots. That bench, how about the little kid from Iowa State, Morris? He put his fingerprints on that game last night, 14 points. Michael Porter had a very good game. It didn't, 9.6 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 assists in 22 minutes. Only took 4 shots, 1 or 2. He was efficient off that bench. And bottom line, now, the bench for the Lakers, yes, they outscored the bench for Denver, but Denver's bench and the X factor of the game, of course, was Jeremy Grant with 26. He had 26 last night. 26 in that win. Only took 11 shots. This was one of those games, I think, that the Lakers appeared to look like they have one of those buttons that they can just push when they want to. Last night, they pushed that button and the batteries were going out. That's what it felt. That's what it looked like. Then they hit it a couple times. Like you do one of them remote controls. He hit it, and then all of a sudden in the fourth quarter, it started working. So you got your channel, and they made that run. Then all of a sudden, they got ready to cut it again, and that battery stopped working. That's what it looked like. That's what it looked like. Now, remember, I was rooting for 3-1. I want this series to be, and I maintain that stance. I want this series to be 3-1. That way, now we can test the full metal of the Denver Nuggets. I don't care what happens after that. Of course, I prefer to see the Lakers in the championship. It just would be more sexy on the eyes for history. Every team you root for them to get one good upset. Okay, the Denver got that. They knocked the Clippers out. You don't want to knock the Clippers and the Lakers out unless you are a total antagonist of the city of Los Angeles and don't want neither one of those teams to get it. So be it. But I think Rondo did well last night. He has to find a way. Rondo had 9 points, 8 assists. He was running, but I think that Rondo, once again, he had 0 for 3 from three-point lane. Combined with Caruso, they were 0 for 7.
What about my favorite stat?
With your plus or minus?
Yeah, he was a minus 13. Rondo, minus 13. Caruso, minus 6. Who else that? Oh, Morris, a minus 13. That'll kill you. That'll kill you from your bench, boss. What about these 2 rebounds I've been hearing about these 7-footers ain't getting 2? You probably have mentioned it already.
Yeah, I mentioned that. Anthony Davis had 2.
LaVelle McGee had 1.
LaVelle had 1. So they combined for 3 rebounds. And actually, if you throw Dwight Howard in there with them, they combined for 4 rebounds total. And so when you pull a stat like that out, would you bet your right pocket that stat would be duplicated in this series again by that same stat?
We ain't worried about it. Jimmy, you gave this team life. This team is proven to this team you can't give them life. You gave them life.
Well, hell, they already had life when they got beat by a buzzer beater. They knew they had game too. You beat them at the buzzer.
Jim,
they knew they had game too.
I know
you
LeBron.
Stole game two.
Listen to me. I know LeBron, and I hope LeBron don't allow this to happen because I can't depend on the rest of them guys. He got a bunch of misfits on that team. He got a bunch of malcontents, a bunch of guys that just he got. Come on, man. They old. And Denver's young, and so I just hope LeBron can be the adult in the room and pull this team out, Jimmy. Because I'm liking to watching the Denver right now, but I don't want to see Denver in the finals. I just don't. And maybe that'll jinx them, and then LeBron will win. I'm just telling you. Maybe that'll jinx because,
And and,
yeah.
and tonight, of course, the series resumes in the Eastern Conference Finals with Miami and Boston. So this will be game 4 of this series, right? And what time is that game tonight? Let me look on the schedule. 7:30 Central Time in Boston and Miami. And that game, of course, the Lakers series will resume on Thursday. Jimmy Butler and company. I mean, all signs, we'll see. If Jimmy Butler got a haircut, Miami loses. If Jimmy Butler comes out there with that hair looking like the Heat Miles again, then Miami might Boston gonna be in for some trouble. Boston gonna be in for trouble. Also in basketball news, I forgot about this, but it's on the table.
Yeah.
The G League is considering a tournament, right? And I guess a bubble thing or whatnot. And it would include the Ignite team, which has the majority of those high school players who opted to not go to college, including Jalen Green and Kuminga and Isaiah Todd, who I think one of the guys mentioned yesterday, and Deshaun Nix, and the rest of those fellas. So that would be intriguing, and I'm quite sure for us because now streaming is the thing. Now they've had good results with streaming, so that means people will watch that. People will watch that, and also it was noted that the McDonald's, the organization that runs the McDonald's All-American Game, they have sent out invites yesterday. They sent out invites to approximately 150 of the top 12th grade. Well, no, it's not just 12th graders, I think, but some of the top players in the country for a camp that would take place at the end of October. I think it's the 24th, whatever that weekend is.
This ain't the one that's in Dallas, is it, Jim?
Yeah, in Dallas, Mansfield.
Jimmy, you sure that tournament they charge people to get in that tournament?
That's
well. So why are you, Jimmy? You sure that's McDonald's All America? I mean,
absolutely. I'm 100% positive.
You 100% positive what? You pay $175, you can go play. So when did the McDonald's All America start doing this?
This is the first time doing this.
Is it the pandemic? I can get some money out of somebody? Because it's a dude. I want you to explain this to me. That some people are putting on a turn. So what does this $175 get you?
Well,
because you saying it's such a it's McDonald's. What does this get you? What does it get you?
What does it get you?
Yeah.
Well, and ironically you asked, because the son of the legendary Coach Wooden, who passed away last year, Coach Wooden's son, I actually spoke with him, and this morning.
Okay.
He's going to be on the Chop Shop tomorrow to answer all of those questions. Now, so we get that out the way. So Thursday, Coach Wooden, the son who actually assumed the role of his dad, now he's actually the chairman of the McDonald's committee now. So I have the info that he sent, and they send the invites to the top 100 in the class of the 2021, the top 50 in the class of 2022, right? The first 128 to register with secure spots is invite only. And you're asking what do the McDonald's All-American game, all of the selection committee, all of the voters are expected to be there. Basically, they're supposed to have this camp to evaluate, because a lot of the kids that get selected, really they're selected based on grassroots. That's one way of proving to many of you people who thought the theory was otherwise. The high school seasons are fragmented. For example, in California, Heather, the season don't start till March. So if they didn't see you in the summer, your high school season don't start till March. The McDonald's teams is selected like at the beginning of February, late January. So when are they going to? So this is an opportunity for some players to play themselves into consideration.
$180, $185 worth.
Now, well, the thing is, for the money is, here's what I take out of it. And first
You're
thing,
an event operator, Jimmy.
I want to
hear.
The Ronald McDonald House operates the McDonald's game. It has always funded everything, but they've used to funding 24 players. So they could have made a decision, because the NBPA Top 100 camp, which I'm on the selection committee with, don't no kid pay their way to get there. Don't no kid pay their way to get in. There's no admission fee. There's no entry fee. There's none of that. There's no fee. There's no fee at the door. No money's changed hands in the past. Now they sold college coaches packets last year for the first time ever, because college coaches generally wasn't allowed to come. The NCAA opened that up and made it live for like 2 days last year. But back to this stuff. Immediately when I got it, and that's what made me call, I called the daughter, and then she had the brother call me back. He called me back in about 5 minutes. And I knew that it was a fee. Well, that fee, that mean they're getting with the times. That's why I look at it. They're getting with the times. Everybody else charging for them camps, and guess when they realize it? Them people gonna pay it. So you have two choices. If you're in the top 20 in the country, top 15, you ain't got to go there. If you're in the top, if you're not, and you're healthy, you better go. If you are not, and you're in that same range, 20, 30, 20 to 35, guess what? Some people is going to use that as an excuse to not vote for you. Or you were going to be deferring that to an opportunity to another kid who may have been one slot below you or in that same position to perform. And there ain't nothing you could do about that. That's the thing. So it's like one of those things. It's almost like damn, it's a racket. But guess what? And it's a two-day thing. It goes from Saturday, the 24th and 25th of October. And the thing about it that gets me is that this is at one venue, 150 boys and 150 girls. That's 300 kids under the same roof. And they're going to let spectators in. So the spectators will be allowed. And I asked him this morning, I said, how many would each kid get? He said each kid would get 2 parents, would get a special link to get automatic tickets. Anybody other than that, they could, so they're gonna have fans there.
Hey man, do me a favor, everybody out there, have y'all questions tomorrow, cause I sure got mine tomorrow. When this guy called it, man, let me tell you something. I'm gonna hold my stuff for tomorrow.
So basically, what it feel like from you through the screen is that this is your moment when you realize that Santa Claus wasn't really Santa Claus.
No.
You realize Santa Claus wasn't really Santa Claus. You realize now.
No. I already know what y'all are doing and these people are doing. I already know what y'all doing. I'm just sitting up here. Parents. Wow.
Okay, Hannah, if you don't get it, if you get an invite, first of all, to get an invite to have the option to come, you already deemed you've been selected and are tabbed to even get an invite. So that's one of the things you got choices.
So I got
and
to invite.
consequences.
I'm gonna invite you to come give me your money. Great, Blue Magic. You said it real good. It's Blue Magic.
Yes.
Let me tell you
You
something.
going to
Blue Magic ain't that good. Guess what? I'm not shooting nothing in my arm, and I'm not smoking nothing. So guess what? It's just that's my opinion. I mean, I don't care. Let me tell you something. I hope you don't expect me to buy that bullshit, because I don't buy this, and I just don't endorse it, and I just don't. I just don't. I just don't. It's just me. But that's just a little old Robert. I don't, like I told y'all today, I don't know. But guess, boy, I'm a critical and a deep thinker.
Yeah, but at the same time, once again, if you are only 15 or so players, first of all, the seniors is what it matters. The underclassmen, that matters to not if you're already in that range. If you're an underclassman and you're in the top 30 in the country, it don't even benefit. I mean, well, I say benefit. As far as if economics is a factor, then it doesn't even, because you can't get picked unless you're a 12th grader for the McDonald's game. There will be a grassroots season more likely next summer anyway. So those committee guys will see most of the guys that are in the top 30 play on sneaker-sponsored programs. Most of them, the vast majority. That's just the way the system is right now. But those other guys, other kids, it will be widely attended. You know why? Because Morgan Wooten's son is actually has his fingerprints on it. And that's why I was wondering, and I had the questions for him this morning. I talked with him. I was wondering if it was like a side organization. They're actually running. So they're gonna, they're using this as a what they call a satellite camp.
Wow.
Now they're not calling it, I'm calling it that. For some kids to play their way in. And you know what? It's gonna work for some kids. By the numbers, some kid is going to, this camp is going to work for at least a couple of kids. It's gonna work for them in their favor.
Well, what about the other 98?
It's a numbers game, Adam. Think about it. It's only 24 seats on the plane.
Hey man, let me tell you something. This is the biggest Sam. Jimmy, let's end the show. Let's talk about this. Dude, I got to go pray about this. This is horrible.
How's it horrible? So if that's, I'm saying so, how can that be horrible? I just think
it's horrible. It ain't nothing.
I know, but I'm saying, but how can it be horrible with any other camp in the country? But it has a fee to it. How can they not be horrible, but this is horrible? I'm saying, once again, if any other camp in the country.
I don't believe in none of the camps. I ain't never.
It has a fee to it.
I ain't believe in none of them. But if you want to parent, if you want to pay, then you pay. I'm just saying, you wouldn't have got my money. I don't care about no damn McDonald's All-America. And parents, think about what they say. There ain't but a couple of spots left. So 100 of y'all, 150 of y'all, gonna go spend y'all money to try to get two spots. Chop shop. Let's go. We gonna yabba dabba really and do this thing.
And the fee is 185. It's not 175.
Oh my God, it's worse. Oh my goodness, it's worse.
It's 185.
200 yards. Oh my God.
And once again,
that's Smile Joy, Jimmy. Them some what's the kind of shoes I got on? Them some what's this? I don't even know the name of them. What you call them? The Air. What's the Air that costs a lot of money that people don't like to buy? It costs $180, whatever. This some.
It's boys and girls. That's the thing. Once again, boys and girls. So I take this back. But they're not in there at the same time. I'm looking at the invite, and boy, they're not in. Because I was wondering how you gonna get 300 kids. They're staggering them.
Oh my God.
Kind of like they're staggering boys and girls throughout both days. It's 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, October 24th and 25th. Basically, in a nutshell, they saying that everybody must bring their own chairs. They're gonna allow no bleachers.
Thank you for saving it. You saved the best for last. Now I can just go home and pray for all these parents.
Spectators will be allowed 10 minutes prior to start time. No bleachers will be out. No entrance 30 minutes after the game is started. Nobody will be able to come in. And facility will be at limited capacity. And once again, Joe Wooden, the son of the late Morgan Wooden, is expected to be joining us tomorrow on the Chop Shop.
They get that pandemic money back. They gonna have. They say, "We been through the pandemic." Oh, I got away! Wow, I'm good, man. I'm Jimmy. Jimmy, I'm good today on this one. Boy, you done gave me. You got me.
And understand, like whoever says, "I never heard of the McDonald's All-American Game selections charging to get selected." Damn shame. I tell you what, give their money to Breonna Taylor's family, and I will contribute. Well, that might be something to bring up during tomorrow, because once again, the Ronald McDonald's Foundation is what encompasses that McDonald's All-American Game, and that's the thing. It's like I'm looking at it and I'm like, I see.
Jimmy, can we go? We're gonna talk about it tomorrow. Can we go? I'm good. I need a button. I need a buzzer now. I know it's some more you want to talk about, but let's talk about it tomorrow, man. I got the process. I'm like Alan Branch. I got the process.
I mean, that once again. So now you guys see. Once again, that's the whole thing. Is I'm curious to the people that got invites that say they're not going. Remember that NCAA thing that they had the camps last summer, NCAA in July, they did their camps, and they invited the people. Did they have to pay to go to that or no? Do you guys remember that? I can't remember. Did the kids have to pay to go to those NCAA camps that they had? They got invites to be seen by the college coaches, right? And I'm just curious, you guys remind me, do you remember if those players had to pay to participate in that? I think Akeisha says no. Okay. So no, they didn't have to pay. So even that camp, they didn't have to pay. I know Nike Elite 100 does the annual camp for the top 9th and 10th graders that's up under the Nike umbrella in St. Louis every year. That camp, the kids have to pay their own way, but they don't have to pay. There's no registration fee to get in. It's invite only. And I've worked with that camp for maybe the past 15 years, or most of the 10 of the past 15 years.
Well, Jimmy, thank God for you and your camp. Guess what? I got to get home. Them roads clear. I got to get on this road and get back to Houston. So I'll be in my normal surroundings tomorrow, y'all. So thank y'all for so much being so patient for an hour and a half, but I got to get back. We love y'all. We'll see y'all tomorrow. We're going to yabba dabba do this thing and slide down Dino's back, and I'm about to hit this outro button. See y'all later.
And that's exactly what we're about to do.
Jim Hicks, Rob Hatter, you are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop.